Welcome back to another video. In this video, we will be building a AI rig, or at least we'll call it that. As you can see here, I have a brand new 5090 FE that I just picked up. This was the one that dropped yesterday or day before on the NVIDIA marketplace. It got here in one day, so it shipped insanely fast. But we'll be putting this onto an EPYC. This is a 7K62. I might actually also swap the RAM out. There's only 32 gigs. I might have enough. I think these sticks here are all the same. So I might have, it looks like I got 8. And I believe these are all 8 gigs. Yeah, they're only 1R4s, but that's whatever. I just want the amount of storage. So we'll swap out the RAM on these also, because currently I believe these are all these here are all 4 gigabyte sticks. So I'll swap all these 8 in. I already have power set up. It's an 850 watt, should be plenty. This will be running on 400 watts max, so I'm not too worried. I'm using 2 dual 8 pins, and then 2 of these, and then a single, and it should be fine. So actually I don't even need 2 duals. I'm gonna swap these out because that's already 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll have to swap one out. I'm not really a fan of these flat cables anyway. And that's about it. I will see you guys when I have RAM and cable swapped and 5090 installed. Alright, RAM is swapped in. I got all 8 spots populated. Going to install the 5090 now. It should be relatively easy. I do appreciate just how thin this GPU is. Oh, my angles are trash. This is so hard. Yeah, there we go. That works. This fan I have raised up just because I have a fan that I put here to cool the VRMs. They get kind of hot sometimes. Well, let me get this all powered up. Well, connected, put up there, and powered up, and it should be, well, hopefully it'll boot into Hive without any problems. I might have to do some RAM training, but that won't be an issue really. Also, totally unrelated, I actually have 5070s for sale. So over here I actually have two fans, and I have 8 of those available. They're already accounted for, or someone has them saved. Yeah, they're counted for already. So pretty much I plan on only keeping 1 GPU per rig. So I have to get rid of 1 more here. This one is counted for by someone else. And I believe I have 2 more in here that might be for sale. Or maybe 1 more. Once I get everything resituated. Because I believe I have some 3 fans upstairs that I took pictures of that are for sale also. If you watched Crewman's video, we did like a quick interview, or just like a chat / conversation. And I mentioned that I had some 5070s for sale, so someone said, hey, I'll buy all the 2 fan models. So we struck a deal. And I still have a few more 3 fan models for sale. You can just hit me up through like any of the like minor discords. I'm sure you can just search my name and I'll pop up. And I'll let you know what's for sale. It'll only be 3 fan models at this point. And it'll probably be MSI and Gigabyte and maybe P&Y models. But not that many. It's only maybe 3 or 4. Maybe even less than that. Maybe like 1 or 2. Let me know if you're interested. I was thinking 480 shipped. Hopefully we can just pay in like Zelle or crypto or whatever. I've done a bunch of deals with other people before, so this person's paying me in either Zelle or crypto, and it's like 30, $400 or something for all of the 5070s that I have for sale that are 2 fans. Alrighty, we got this thing all powered up. I'm assuming, I just turned it on, so I'm assuming it will be doing some RAM timings. Oh, this guy's, I want to fix this tension on here. I forgot. Realistically, I should try to move this one over here. But I got this all powered up. I got the little guy sticking out. There's a fan that's sandwiched and cooling the VRMs. And I think that should be about it. I will jump back into the Clore desktop and my Hive OS. Make sure this rig is online. I will also double check which 5070s I have for sale and get an actual final count on that. And I'll see you guys when we go to my computer. Alright, welcome to my Clore dashboard for the 7K62 5090 that we just built in the basement. If you were paying attention, you may have seen that there was a let's see, 7V12 with a 5090, but since then I've changed it over and both of the 5090s are on 7K62s now. Eventually down the road, I'm hoping like early-ish, mid-November, AliExpress is supposed to have some sales for what I think is like, for us it happens to be on Veterans Day, which is like November 7th. But I'm hoping I can pick up some H12D-8D boards, which have PCIe 4.0 and also Gen 4 for storage drives. And I'll be swapping all the RAM and stuff into those 2 boards. I'm going to just keep the H11 SSLs as they are and put on 2 5070s on each of those instead. Have bought a bunch of 1 terabyte Gen 4 drives. Best Buy has refurbished 990 Pros 1 terabytes for $69. So I have 5 of those coming. I did buy more Fangshang drives. They're also the S880, I think, and they're 1 terabyte. They were $64 after a sale. And then I also found a Western Digital Black SN7100 for, I think it was around $62. It was still sealed. So I have all those drives coming, and I plan to upgrade all the drives on my rigs because currently a lot of them have really generic 128 gigabyte boot drives. And as you can see, Clore kind of eats up a good bit of storage here. So a lot of them are 128, but then with Clore and other stuff happening, it drops down to like 78 gigabytes or so. So if I have a bunch of 1 terabyte drives and such, you know, hopefully more chances of getting rented and people will see that as a good thing. I also bought a lot of RAM, all DDR4 server RAM. The 5090s I plan to keep at 128 gigabyte sticks or total RAM, and I have a bunch of 8x8s and 8x16 gigabytes coming, which I will disperse throughout my rigs to have at least a minimum 64 gigabytes for the 5070s. And then 5090s, if I happen to get more, I will try to swap RAM and make those 128 gigabytes, or just keep them at 64 gigabytes because you want to have like a 2-to-1 ratio. That's like the rule of thumb for RAM. But other than that, it did get booted. I had to end up remaking this rig because it was just not getting rented, and I'm not sure if that was due to the rating. It was like at 2.6 because it had a bunch of reboots with the 7V12. It was having some sort of a RAM stick error, and it just kept constantly rebooting. But anyway, I've remade the rig now, and it is rented at $6 a day. We'll see for how long. It just started. Here's the rig in Hive OS, 570-169 driver. I run that on everything. This is into shell. They're probably running, okay, THT. Yeah, that one's come up a lot. It's usually For 5090s, it's usually THT or Neptune cache. It looks like SRB Miner added THT, so that's going to pop off in terms of hash rate, I think. Yeah, I believe the GPU is also running on THT. I think it kind of uses both. So if I go to my other rig, this is the other 5090. Actually, well, it's not rented. It won't show it. Yeah, this is just me mining XMR. Right. That one was running Neptune cache. So, and then here is my, let's see, account overview for Clore. I'm waiting on a bunch of stuff to unlock because apparently there's a bug with mass onboarding. If you did it that way, that it'll like recreate a server. And I had that happen here where I have a 7v12 and then I have another one down here. Overnight, it just recreated a server because it like grabbed the new token. So anyway, I have to wait for all my stuff to unlock, and then I'll be redoing a bunch of RAM to get them all to 64 gigs. I'll be upgrading drives for everything and reflashing, and then I will redo everything through HiveOS with the integration. So this is my daily. It is still around $17 a day on rentals, and overall wattage is around 3,300 on everything, but that also includes when stuff is idle mining XMR. This is my weekly. As you can see, demand has fallen off quite a bit. You can see that in the statistics tab also, which I think is here. Let's see, do we have a last 7 days? Here we go. We'll do 90 days. So like right around here, you know, this is kind of where we are at now, early September, and demand was alright. This is kind of when I started, was early September. Demand spiked, dropped off a little more, came back up, and then it really spiked in October, and this is also when the HiveOS integration happened. So demand spiked real hard, and now we're kind of back down to early September and August in terms of where demand has been. But this is my weekly. Demand down, price is down, that's alright. And then overall, here's my monthly from October 2nd to November 1st. But it's kind of been up and down, 16s to like, we've had days of 32s and 33s. So, and then, you know, obviously down to like 14 and 17 over here. And I do plan to slowly try to acquire more 5090s. And I will be selling 5070 Ti's and 5070s to kind of make up for that. Even in the market for 4090s, if anyone has 4090s, let me know. Probably won't be paying what eBay is wanting. So if you are asking like 1800 or so, that's just not going to happen. That's over new MSRP price. So at that point, I'll just hunt for a 5090 and pay a little extra for that. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can see all my earnings. Clore's doing all right. I think heavily carried by Epics. And that's about it. I will see you guys in the next one.